Hi everyone, Christina here. Welcome to another video at my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be using the Shooting Stars stencil from Joggles, and I'm going to be doing a bunch of ink blending and some doodling with a white gel pen. Starting out by cutting some white cardstock to 7 inches by 5 inches. I didn't want to have to deal with the card already being folded while I'm doing my blending, so eventually I'll just adhere this piece to the front of a 5 by 7 card. I'm taping down that shooting star stencil to my work surface. I also taped down the cardstock itself so everything will not move around. I'm using In the Navy, Blue Lagoon, Key Lime, and Black Onyx inks from Gina K Designs, and I'm going to be blending all of these with some blender brushes. This blender brush is actually from Picket Fence Studios, and I'm going to use the same brush for all 4 colors. And because I don't want to have to clean it off to switch colors, I'm starting with the lightest color first, which is Key Lime. I blended that in some different areas over these stars. I want this to have a very multicolored look. I don't want it to blend from one color to the next and, almost in rainbow fashion. I want it to have different spots of color. So I brought that key lime in 3 different areas, and then I came in with the next darkest shade, which is this lighter blue shade. I brought that in just in some different areas around the key lime area. And I wanted to make sure that I left spots for the In the Navy and also the black shade, because I didn't want to have everything used up with these 2 colors, although I do really love these 2 colors blended together. When they mix, they create the most beautiful green shade. So now I'm taking In the Navy and I'm blending that in on these other areas. By the way, when I was editing this video, I did speed up the blending by 2. So I didn't speed it up too much, but this blending goes actually very quickly once you get going. Blending over stencils is one of my most favorite techniques to do with stencils, and it's one of those wow techniques that looks awesome no matter how you do it or almost with whatever colors you use. So now I'm going to switch to that black shade, and I'm only going to need the black shade in a few different spots. I don't need it like all over. I just want it to add some more depth to some different areas. So I'm making sure I'm adding that black to the biggest areas of the navy shade. I want to break that up so it's not just all that black color. And as I'm doing this, I'm making sure that I'm kind of blending next to each color, but also I want a really smooth blend. So I'm making sure that I don't jostle the stencil too much. I'm just being pretty careful as I'm doing all of this blending. So now I'm going to lift up the stencil, and it reveals the clean area underneath, and I think it just looks so sharp and so cool. So next I came in with a white gel pen and added some just doodling areas on all of these stars. And I did a few different patterns. I started with this really simple polka dot, and then I did a pinstripe, just very thin stripes. And I just took my time moving across this star, making sure those stripes are all parallel with each other. This is the one that's the most doodle-esque, I guess, the one that's most like an image. I did some little branches with leaves, and I thought I might leave it with only half of it done, but then I did eventually go back and finish off those branches. I did some open circles, and I did more of those dots. And on this next one, I'm doing like an outline around the inner edge of this star. And I did this same decoration technique on a few different stars because I wanted to have those lines. On this one, I did a very much more wide stripe, and then I turned my cardstock and went the other direction, so it became a grid pattern. So I'm doing really simple patterns, nothing too elaborate. This next one, I made my own plaid. I went one direction and then turned it and went the other direction, making sure to have a couple of those stripes be closer together so it looks more like plaid. So I added those other directions. For this next one, I did some really large polka dots, not super big, but larger than the other polka dots that I did before. And then I added some more stripes. So I did repeat these patterns over and over quite a bit. This last area, I did the outline of the star and then decided to fill it in so that I had a full white star on the interior. So the basic background is completely finished. So now I'm going to work on the greeting. I'm using the Thanks frame die from Simon Says Stamp. I've used this die set quite a bit over the last few months. I love it. It's one of those kind of do-it-all greetings. It's great for covering backgrounds or anything like that. So I cut the background area out of black and then the actual thanks words and the frame out of white. And then I adhered them. And I did that by doing some dabs of Gina K Connect glue on the back of each piece. Then I dabbed the paper onto some scratch paper to get rid of any excess glue that might kind of glob out. I put the negative area inside that frame, and this is going to give me the perfect positioning for the actual word. So it's nice and centered within that frame. So I put those dots of adhesive, dabbed it off on that cardstock, and then placed it puzzle piece style into that negative area. And then just grabbed a craft pick just to pick up that negative piece and pull it back out. Now this piece had no adhesive on it, it was just placed in there. So now I'm going to prep the card base, and I'm just putting my blended piece directly on top of the card base. I created another card out of that same cardstock, so it's 5x7 folded, and then I used a Xyron Mega Runner to put adhesive on the back of my blended piece. I'm going to take some foam tape or foam adhesive and put that on the back of my thanks area. And then I'm going to use a T-square ruler just to make sure I get this greeting on here perfectly. So I've got that ruler on there, and then I placed my thanks piece over the top. So that's the card for today. Super easy stencil ink blended card. I love adding in all those details with the different patterns and a little bit of that doodling. It's a great way to personalize this pattern of shooting stars coming down. Thanks so much for watching today's video. I appreciate it when you guys tune in. And I'm going to have 3 more videos for you to check out right here on screen. If you have any questions about what I've used in today's card video, just as before in all my other videos, I've got everything listed down below in the video description. And if you are new here, welcome. You can subscribe and make sure you hit that notification bell so you never miss a video again. Thanks so much, and I'll catch you guys next time.